once he's achieved it, he never looks back, and he's never worried about going out there anymore.
Do you have any lack of volunteers?
No lack of volunteers.
Not even for button boy?
Not even for button boy.
All right, y'all, welcome back to Combat Arms channel. Okay, so today's video, we're checking out something that a lot of y'all have been recommending to me, and it's not something that I was familiar with whatsoever. So previously, I think maybe like 6 or 7 months ago, it was a while back, we did a reaction to the field gun competition in the Royal Navy. And that was super interesting to me because, again, in the US, we don't really have these sort of traditions that we really uphold in sort of like a tournament fashion. Now, I'm sure there's some things that might compare in the US, but not nearly what we saw with the field gun competition. And what we're seeing today is something called manning the mast. Now, I'm not exactly sure if this is a tournament or if this is just like a ceremony that they will do sometimes. And I'm not even sure if they do it anymore. So I don't really know too much about this. But I have seen a few videos of them doing this whole manning the mast ceremony, I guess we can call it. But it looks super interesting. It looks like it started in World War II, but I'm not exactly sure. So if you guys could provide some insight as to when this specific ceremony started. Again, I'm just going to keep calling it a ceremony because I don't know if it's like a competition or what have you. But I'm not sure when this started, so if you guys could provide some insight, I would appreciate it. But it seems like they did it up until the 90s. I'm not sure if they do it in the 2000s anymore, if they did it in the 2000s, but it seems like there's videos on YouTube of them doing this in the 90s. So we'll get right into it. Again, you guys, if you're not familiar with this, you're going to be very confused as to what I'm talking about. And even after watching it, you're probably going to be pretty confused because, again, you might not be familiar with something specifically relating to this or anything really close to this. Because, again, in the U.S., we don't really have anything like this. But it's very badass, so let's get into it.
Now, where are they getting to now, the leaders there?
Well, now they're just approaching what we call the buttock shrouds, and they're just going past the devil's elbow, which is perhaps the most difficult part when you're...
Okay, so again, I need to give like a little bit of context as to what I'm seeing right here. So we can see it's an old style ship. Again, I'm not exactly sure what specific model of ship. I'm not too savvy on like old warships or anything like that. So we have an old style ship where you actually have the mast and everything, and you have the rope. I know y'all in the Navy are probably going to hate me for just not knowing the proper terms for all this, but you have the mast, you have the ropes and everything so you can get up onto the mast where the sails? The mast sails? I don't know what to call it, but you can take the ropes and release those, I think. I guess that's what the purpose of those are. But yeah, you can see these sailors are climbing these ropes to get to the top of the mast. Again, not really sure why or how this started, but it's super badass. And again, you guys already know I hate heights, so I would not appreciate doing this at all. And they do it in like a certain grace because in the Marines and the Army, we have drill and ceremony, and you have to do things like at a cadence, and that's kind of how they're doing this. And when you're going super high up and you're keeping like the cadence and you're keeping that discipline, then it really goes to show how disciplined these guys are. But yeah, it's so cool to see.
You're climbing this
Some
part.
come through the hole, which I believe is called the lubbers.
Yes, that's called the lover's hole, and of course that's the easy way up. And no
They
real
call it easy, still.
no real sailor dares go through the lover's hole.
That looks stressful.
Are all boys in the establishment capable of doing this? There are 82 there, but that's a long way
Yes.
from being the whole complement.
Yes, indeed.
82.
All boys, when they join Ganges, have to go up over the mast. It's quite a challenge to the boy joining HMS Ganges.
Indeed, I should think.
Okay, so yeah, this is the HMS Ganges. Again, I guess that's like an old ship. So it seems like what they're saying is everyone who gets onto the HMS Ganges or anyone who's like stationed on the Ganges has to do this. And I'm not sure if that's accurate, but if that's true, then wow. I mean, nowadays people might consider that like hazing or stuff like that. But dude, you have to remember traditions, and you have to remember what it took to be in the Navy back in these times. Like you needed some rough people, and you needed people that you could trust and that were disciplined and that were willing to, you know, insert themselves into the unit. And this is one way to do it, so I kind of like it.
It was.
But once he's achieved it, he never looks back, and he's never worried about going out there anymore.
Do you have any lack of volunteers?
No lack of volunteers.
Not even for button boy?
Not even for button boy.
Button boy?
Now they're getting to what?
Now you can see the button boy is going up what we call the Jacob's ladder.
Okay, yeah.
And
What's the yard beneath him in that sort of half moon there?
that's the topgallant yard or upper yard.
So many
And,
terms.
And there's the button boy's getting to what?
Now he's getting to the trestle trees, the topgallant trestle trees.
And he's a long way from the ground.
And he's
I
a
love
long
these
way from the ground,
commentators.
And that last bit of the climb is not easy. And
Up the bare pole.
up the bare pole.
Wow, dude.
And if it's wet, if it's been raining, or if we were at sea, if it was salty, then it's not easy to get
Then
up.
you had to do it, but of course here, obviously, in bad weather, this wouldn't happen, would it?
In
This
bad
is so
weather,
crazy.
Normally it wouldn't happen.
Now up he goes onto his butt.
Now he goes on to his button. Yes.
And it says he can look down quite happily. What a boy.
Yes.
What
Yes,
the
it's
heck?
Quite high.
Yeah, quite high. Yeah, it is. First of all, I love these commentators. I have no idea how old this actually is. I mean, it sounds like around 40s voices, but I'm not entirely sure. But dude, I hate heights, so that looks. It's like making my palms sweat just like watching this. But yeah, so he went up the Jacob's ladder, which now is like a CrossFit kind of thing. So he went up the Jacob's ladder, and then he has to go up the final mast by itself. So he's like climbing it. Now I used to climb trees like that when I was on my old recon platoon. I used to climb trees like that, and I mean it's pretty easy unless the tree is like super wide. But you need a pretty good level of fitness to be able to wrap yourself around a pole and literally just shimmy up it. You need good upper body strength. You need good core strength. You need some strong legs. So yeah, that dude must be in some pretty solid shape to be able to do stuff like that. And again, my palms are getting sweaty just like watching this. But imagine him if it was like wet or if it was raining or he's just sweaty from doing everything up leading to that point. Then yeah, it's going to be super hard to try and do all of that. So I don't know if they have any prep work, if they get like chalk that they can use to help climb up that. But yeah, that dude is an absolute legend. So let's finish up this, and then we'll switch videos to a more modern version of this. But to be honest, it kind of just looks very much the same and still as sketchy as it was back in the day.
The ordinary classes, when they come up and they do their training, going over the mast, they're not required to go higher than the half moon there.
Okay.
But all boys, if they wish, and during their recreation periods, can go
or
up
boys.
the button. And in fact, quite a number do, of course.
That's so cool. That'd be a cool picture. All right, that was sick. All right, so again, yeah, we're gonna move to a more modern. This is the HMS Dallas, and this was in 1992. So again, we have videos of them doing this in like 1992, but I'm not sure if they had to stop it for safety reasons or whatever it was. But you can imagine with this kind of stuff, yeah, things are gonna change and people are gonna want to put some stuff to the wayside. So I'm not sure if it's still happening in the 2000s if they still do this mass manning, but it is very, very badass. So let's get into this one from 1992. Are those Marines? Kind of look like Marine uniforms. I like the old-fashioned uniforms. That was pretty cool. Yeah, I have no idea what they're doing right now. Is that literally just a mast that they brought out there? I guess he's trying to hype her up. Okay, so yeah, I'm not sure who actually takes part in this. If these are like these guys are in the Royal Navy, or if you can get some Royal Marines to take part. But yeah, not really too sure. I mean, the uniforms look certainly Navy, but not exactly sure if they have to be in the Navy for this. That would make sense, I guess. All right, yeah, so it looks like they literally set up a mast in the middle of this field, which is, I mean, it's good. It's some dedication to their craft, I guess. Okay. I mean, Yeah, it's not the same as it being on a ship, but it's still pretty high up. Yeah, that looks pretty tall. Alright, they're gonna do the thing now. Let's see it. Yeah, that looks very similar to the US Marine Corps band. As far as like the thing that the dude is holding, like that staff, looks very similar. So, I'm not sure. Looks like about maybe 20 people. Maybe a little more about to do this. Yeah, my heart would be pumping right now. Okay, so I guess it's like the band that's doing the cadence. Maybe. That thing is swaying a lot. You can see how windy it is. That would be, oh, dude. And that's another thing, since it's not actually on a ship, that thing could very well fall over. I mean, I'm sure it's pretty safe, but I'm sure it'd be swaying a bunch. Especially with all those people on it. Like, yeah, they're in cadence, but it's a lot of weight on that. Alright, they're getting to the top. Oh, okay, yeah, there's a lot of them. I mean, you'd feel like a badass at the end of this. Me, I'd just be thankful that I'm back on the ground. Yeah, they're stressed. I mean, I'd be stressed too. I'd be fighting a freaking breakdown up there. Yep, so there's that like Jacob's ladder. Okay, so they didn't actually shimmy up it. But, dude. Imagine just looking down right there. Oh, is that the chick? Yeah, she's standing now, huh? I wonder how tall that thing is. Probably like a good... Well, I guess we'll see, maybe. Yeah, I mean, she did one-up him by standing on it. Yeah, that thing is like a good 80 feet at least. Badass. I mean, at least it's not too windy to the point where she's like flying off of that thing, because it doesn't look like she has anything to keep her in place if it does get too windy. I wonder what those flags represent, though. Like, if it's just countries that the UK kind of owns or something, like territories. Or if they fall underneath the Commonwealth. How long she gotta stand up there? That'd be even sketchier if it was windy and you have to throw up a salute. Doesn't seem too bad right now, though. Alright, very, very cool. Are they just shimmying down the ropes? Yeah, they are. That's pretty cool. That's like fast roping, but much more stressful and kind of awkward. How's she gonna get down now? Very carefully, I guess. Oh, is that rope for her? I have no idea. What if she just hooks up and like rappels down? That'd be sick. Okay, yeah, maybe she is going to be going down that rope. Yeah, I wonder how it just gets like super quiet or something. Wow. I mean, it's a little bit better because you're looking up at the sky and not at the ground, I guess, but that must feel like forever. You just get tired halfway, look down, you're like, damn. Yeah, you need to be in some solid shape to do that. This is like some ranger school type stuff right here. Dang, there's a lot of people. That must feel badass. Very, very cool.
And there's no discrimination.
Some rum? Hell yeah. I wish the U.S. Marine Corps would do that. Okay, yeah, so again, there's not really a whole lot that I can compare this to in the U.S. military that I'm aware of, at least. I've not seen anything like this in the Marine Corps. I've not seen the Navy do anything like this. Even in the Army, we don't really do anything similar to this. So I don't know. I guess the closest thing I can compare it to is just normal drill and ceremony, because you have traditions get passed down as far as passing off guidons and stuff like that. But it's never like these physical feats like we saw with this in the field gun competition. You don't really need to be in like that great a shape to do any of that like field stuff, or that drill stuff, I should say. So I don't know, it's really weird to see this, and it's hard to compare it because I don't have anything to compare it to, but it is very, very badass, and I can tell you need some pretty solid people to do this. I mean, like we saw with the field gun competition, you have people that just train and train and train and get injured just trying to do the specific thing. So I don't know how long they actually trained for this, but I can imagine it took a whole lot of dedication, a whole lot of time, and a whole lot of sweat, and maybe even some calluses on their hands. But I'm sure they've done this numerous times. Again, everything is completely different when you have a massive crowd watching you. And for her, it must have been much, much harder and much more stressful. But yeah, I mean, they killed it. They seem like they did really, really well. I'm not sure how many injuries they would get having to do stuff like this, or if anyone's actually ever fallen off, because that'd be pretty horrible to witness, someone falling off of that. So yeah, I'm not really sure. But super cool nonetheless. So thank you for this amazing recommendation. It was awesome to check out. Again, it's strange to me to watch stuff like this just because I've never seen anyone do anything like this. And again, you need to be extremely brave, extremely courageous, and confident in yourself to be able to do something like that, especially with that many people watching. I mean, people get stage fright just like talking to people like myself. So doing something like that where it takes a whole lot of, physical strength, confidence, and endurance, and just discipline to actually do everything like in that cadence. Yeah, it's super cool to watch. So if y'all in any other militaries like the Canadian Armed Forces, the Finnish Defense Forces, and the German Army, if any of you guys have any traditions that are similar to this, definitely feel free to drop those in the comment section so I can go check them out, because it's very, very cool to see. I think most of the stuff like this in the U.S., if we did have it, probably just got put to the wayside just due to politics or safety or something like that. So I don't know, it'd be cool to see other militaries doing stuff like this, even if they don't happen anymore. It'd be cool to sort of check it out, because again, we've seen a lot of cool stuff just from like the Royal Navy of them doing all this stuff that takes a lot of physical strength and endurance and confidence and stuff. So awesome to see. Thank you for this amazing recommendation. I might go check out a few more of these videos, because there's a few videos you can find on YouTube about the Mast manning, so I might try and find a few more. So yeah, thank you for this amazing recommendation. I'm gonna go do that right now. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, always feel free to hit the thumbs up, comment, let me know what you think, send any other recommendations down in the comment section, and feel free to subscribe. I do appreciate it. Thank you again for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed the video, but that is it for this one. So I will see y'all in the next one.